Kandar, Estrada, Condos. Hey, spooks and spookers, I'm Jen Houston, and welcome to Shut Your Cake Hole, where we talk about cakes, cakes, and cakes. Because I love the Evil Dead movie franchise, I chose to make
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, Book of the Dead.
The Necronomicon just looks like a dirty old, withered human flesh-covered book.
Bound in human flesh and inked in blood, this ancient Sumerian text contained demon resurrection passages.
We even give a nod to the Necronomicon in our own horror movie, in which I star.
I consulted this book of dark secrets.
What is that, the Necronomicon?
It's a history of Manhattan real estate.
So, let me tell you about this cake. Let's get to work on my cake board. We're making wood grain. I've got 3 different colors of fondant, and I am layering them lengthwise. You'll see. We're making a floor, or a table, or a board. And just giving that table/board some finer detail of wood grain. And giving it a dusting of cocoa to make it look a little dirty and dusty. And then giving a little brush of water on certain spots just to give some highlights and lowlights. And then I'm using a little bit of edible white to create some actual highlights. And now I'm making that brown butter cake. And then I give that cake a nice layer of vanilla buttercream and then another thick layer of dark chocolate ganache. And just getting this butter and sugar together so I can caramelize my own pecans. Yum. Locking that all together with a nice layer of dark chocolate ganache, and then on the top, giving it a thick coating of half ganache, half frosting. And then I'm adding a layer of graham cracker pieces because I want the book to have a little bit of foundation for, well, you'll see what's coming next. Now I'm making the pages of the book using some white fondant and a fork to drag across to make the actual pages. And now I'm just making the sculpt a little bit easier by making some under pieces before I lay down the top layer. That long piece is going to be the mouth. And then I roll out a nice piece of half chocolate fondant, half modeling chocolate, and I layer that over, and now I begin the sculpt. And I didn't actually have the camera pointed at the cake when I was making those teeth, but those teeth are just made out of some Tylose-infused fondant. Ouch! And I am making the skin look like it's been weathered and probably burned. And I textured that skin with a razor blade, and now I am filling each one of those indentations with some brownish gelatin. I want edible watercolor to fill into each one of those little crevices and slices that I worked so hard to make. And now I am highlighting the remainder of the skin. Well, I am done with my Book of the Dead cake. This is how I feel inside most of the time. It's true. I made a brown butter cake, filled it with vanilla buttercream, dark chocolate ganache, and homemade caramelized pecans. Covered it in half modeling chocolate, half fondant, a lot of edible paint, a little bit of gelatin, and a lot of patience. Shall we cut it? Dare we? Dare we cut it? Brown butter cake, vanilla buttercream, dark chocolate ganache, homemade caramelized pecans, and a lot of love. Oh my God, this cake is to die for. Holy sh**. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Shut Your Cake Hole. And if you happen to live in the tri-state area and you need a cake, go to sugarandbones.com and let's talk about it. My warning to you is if you come across a book such as this, old, ancient, covered in human skin, filled with an ancient text that you may be tempted to read, shut your cake hole. Shut it.